welcome to everyone to this online panel discussion on connecting women entrepreneurs across Europe, meet the WEgate community. My name is Simonetta Manfredi, and I'm a professor of Equality and Diversity Management at Oxford Brookes University Business School, and also the Associate Dean for Research and Knowledge Exchange. And I have the honor to be a member of the WEgate Council. Hence, I thought it would be good to gather some of the women from the WEgate Council from these fantastic initiatives to share what the WEgate community is and what can do to help women who are entrepreneurs or wish to become entrepreneurs. So what I will do, I will introduce the panelists briefly, and then we will have some questions, some discussion, but there will also be an opportunity for our audience to ask questions or make comments. Please use either the chat function or the question functions if you want to ask questions. Be advised that this session is being recorded. This session is part of the Thrive Festival, which is a yearly event, a fantastic event to celebrate entrepreneurship and brings together women entrepreneurs from different walks of lives, academics and other stakeholders in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. And we are developing absolutely, it seems to be the absolute perfect place for to hold this panel discussion. So just to briefly introduce the panelists who have joined me, I'm really very, very privileged and very honored to have been joined by some highly distinguished women with very fantastic achievements, a record of achievements in their careers. I'll start with the coordinator of the WEgate community, Gabriela Bogoeska. I hope, Gabriela, I've pronounced it more or less correctly, your surname. Now, Gabriela, as well as being the coordinator of the WEgate community, she's also co-founder and executive director at the Miro Foundation in Macedonia, which is a foundation for management and industrial research. And she's also the executive director at the Youth Entrepreneurial Service Foundation. Then Lynne Cadenhead. Lynne has over 25 years of management and investment experience. She has served on over 30 boards, that's extraordinary, and is an ambassador for Women on Board and a visiting professor in governance and enterprise at Edinburgh and Napier University, where I understand she also was a former student. She's a serial entrepreneur and has founded her own company, but she also got an award for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion in 2020 from the Institute of Directors in Scotland. Then Anne Ravanona, and I apologize because I misspelled, entirely my fault, Anne's surname, and I've asked my colleague to put in the chat the correct in case you want to link up with her after this event. Anne is a founder and CEO of Global Invest Her, which is a fantastic initiative, and she will tell us a little bit more about it, that is focused on demystifying the funding process to get more women entrepreneurs funded and faster. She is a regular speaker on funding for women entrepreneurs. She raises awareness among both investors and women entrepreneurs on what barriers hold both parties back and what they can do to work together more effectively. Then I'm delighted we have Brigitte Sardo. Brigitte is a general manager of Sargoma, a family business specialized in rubber and plastic material components for the automotive sector, based in Turin in Italy, and I believe this business exists since 1981. She's very keen to support entrepreneurship activities, but particularly female entrepreneurs. And Brigitte is in her second term as president of APIT Torino, which is the Association of Female Entrepreneurs. And she's also has held a lot of positions on boards of directors of several women associations. And then Patricia Zeegers, who is a board member of PWN Global, leading teams to design and execute impactful virtual programs and activities for women entrepreneurs around the globe. She's also the founder of Business Basecamp, that provides female entrepreneurs and managers with within the Mediterranean region with the help that they need to turn their business obstacles into opportunities. So indeed, a fantastic panel, and we're very lucky to have them with us, and they have taken, and thank you for taking time from your busy schedules. Now, starting with, I think I'd like to start with Gabriela, who is the WEgate coordinator. And Gabriela, can you tell us a little bit about what is WEgate, what the objectives, and also interesting to know, how did you get involved with WEgate in the first place?
Thank you, Simonetta. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be part of this wonderful panel. And thank you, Simonetta, for giving us the space at the wonderful festival, Tri Festival. I've checked the program is fantastic, and I'm looking forward to checking out some other sessions as well. So thank you for giving us the space to present what WEgate is all about. And I would just like to emphasize at the very beginning, WEgate is an initiative that the European Commission started in 2016, and since then it aims to be, let's just say, one of the key initiatives supported by the Commission aimed at women entrepreneurship development or supporting women entrepreneurs across Europe. I've joined WEgate around 18 months ago, or a little bit more. So we have taken over our consortium led by the European Small Business Alliance, taken over the WEgate initiative in 2020, so last year. And we are very excited. And you can imagine it's just been 1.5 years, and I've managed to establish so many new partnerships, cooperation, linkages. I have the pleasure to be surrounded by this wonderful woman, the woman that you're seeing today in this panel, representing top movers in the women entrepreneurship ecosystem, but also with many others in WEgate community, and they're all inspiring and motivating, and it's really, you know, a life-changing initiative for myself. You know, there are some initiatives in your life that just, you know, changes your perspective. My background is in mechanical engineering, and I've started to do a little bit, you know, women entrepreneurship development initiatives back in 2011. So I'm still quite new to the support ecosystem, but I'm very, you know, honored and blessed. And I've been blessed every day to meet new people and to get inspired. Now, getting back to I'm sorry, but I have to share my excitement for being part of this great initiative. Now, getting back to business and to what WEgate is all about. WEgate has several components. In the interest of time, I will try to keep it as brief as possible. The core component of our initiative is the online platform called WEgate.eu. It's intended to become, hopefully, a one-stop shop for women entrepreneurs, aspiring and existing ones, a place where women entrepreneurs can find information about programs, get inspired, motivated, look up to role models, and above all, get in touch with peers, with other women entrepreneurs, networks, mentor, coaches, you know, whatever they are missing or they're in a need of getting in touch with. What we are working at the moment is we are working on upgrading this platform so that we have more interactive features. At the moment, we are not satisfied with the level of interaction provided. But anyway, I would like to ask all of you that have not checked the WEgate platform, check it out, maybe, you know, registered and see what's going on, or check out the news from just follow us and see what's going to happen. Because soon we are going to release another interesting tool, which is the marketplace. We are developing it, and I hope that by the early next year we will be able to launch it. At the moment, it's in a piloting phase. We have some women entrepreneurs already registered there. We will be able to, you know, just do some business, sell, buy products, services, get in touch with each other, and try to increase our trade and our internationalization efforts as women entrepreneurs. Another component that we are very much focusing on is, of course, skills development, but we try to use the process of peer learning. Learning from each other, sharing experiences, surfacing good practices, and just not reinventing the wheel, but seeing what is happening out there in the ecosystem, nationally, regionally, pan-European, and trying to share those information so that other organizations or national economies can implement that as well. We organize different types of events to do that. We have quarterly webinars for access to finance. We will discuss later on about the needs of women entrepreneurs and why access to finance. We also have peer learning webinars where organizations meet and discuss how we can improve the ecosystem, which that is also a very important aspect to address. And we also have WEgate Training Academy, where we try to have a training format on skills development for women entrepreneurs based on their needs, what they would like to learn more. So it's a 2-day training academy. So far it has been online, but hopefully next year we will resume to on-site, not just an academy, but also study visits. But let's see how things go. Hopefully, if we go back to normal, we can have more this on-site interactions. And we, of course, have the annual summit. It's a central event for WEgate community where we try to see what has been going on in the last year, discuss about priorities, have a networking session. We also always have a B2B session so that women entrepreneurs and all the other participants, because we are not only open for women entrepreneurs at these events, of course, everyone can join, and to somehow establish international partnerships. And so we can contribute a little bit to that part of doing business for women entrepreneurs. And the third component, the reason why we are here today, one of the reasons why we are here today is our involvement as a WEgate community or our attempt to get involved in the public policy processes. Our idea is that we would like to establish WEgate community as a social actor that will provide policy recommendations for the European Commission, the institution that supports WEgate at the end of the day, so that by working with women entrepreneurs, doing many different things that we do, including the V barometer, which we're going to discuss today. We collect insights, we collect information on the needs, on the sentiments of women entrepreneurs, and based on that and our experience as a community, we will try to influence the public policy processes, and by doing so, improve the ecosystem in which women entrepreneurs operate at the end of the day. And I'm very, very privileged that within the WEgate community, we have the WEgate Community Council, that at the moment has 36 members, including all those wonderful ladies and their organizations that are present here today in this panel. And it's a very diverse council because that's the way we look at it. We don't want to look at women entrepreneurship in silos, but as broad as possible. We cannot talk about women entrepreneurship development without gender equality, without access to finance, without academic entrepreneurship, women in STEM, in technology. So that's why our council is also very much diverse in terms of members. So we don't only have networks of women entrepreneurs or organizations that solely support women entrepreneurs. So we try to be as broad as possible because that is what it is needed at the end of the day. We need to work in many different directions in order to improve the position of women entrepreneurs in our economy. So that's briefly what WEgate is trying to do and is going to work on it in the following period as well. So thank you, Simonetta, for giving us the opportunity. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Gabriela, for giving this overview. And I'm right to say that people can join by just registering on the platform if they wish to join. Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. And so thank you so much. So this is in a nutshell. As you can see, WEgate does a lot of things. And now moving to the other panelists, and I really would like to ask all of you a little bit more about your work, your advocacy in supporting women's entrepreneurs. I'll start with Brigitte Sardo. And I know that Brigitte will not be able to be with us for the whole things because of some business. And we're very grateful she's joining us from Dubai. Brigitte, over to you. So tell us a little bit more about your work and especially to support women entrepreneurs.
Thank you, and hi to everyone. Excuse me if I have to leave the panel before the end, but I'm very happy to be here with you today. And thank you for your invitation. As you told before, I'm the general manager of Sardo. Sargoma is a family business specialized in rubber components, especially for automotive, industrial and automotive sector. That was born in 1981 in Turin. In our business, we are always looking for innovative and efficient solutions through quality products in order to respond to the increasingly complex needs of an international market. That's why I'm here for business in this day. In order to respond to the I'm currently leading the business toward a new company vision of a new industrial plant that is growing in developing in the Piedmont area in Bogoeska. In Sargoma, despite being a manufacturing company that is in Italy a typically man-led sector, there are 9 women that are representing half of the team, of the most important team, all in a decision-making, creative and technical sectors. That's why, because I'm sensitive towards entrepreneurial activities in general and female entrepreneurship in particular. I'm in my second term, as you said before, as a president of APID in Torino, and also president of the WPlace, that is a consortium of women-led enterprises and professionals that I hold a position that we opened in, I think, eight or 9 months ago. And also I'm I hold a position in several boards of directors of several women associations because I strongly believe in the value of creating business culture and in the important role of young people by supporting many innovative projects and welfare initiatives, as well as promoting the enhancement of female-friendly gender policies. This is the reason why I'm very happy to see that WEgate has created such a powerful instrument in supporting women in business. With our association APID, we really show them, and we had also a meeting together to support and to explain the role of WEgate. I also have a deep passion for cinema, and with my daughter Carolina, I founded the Gran Torino Productions, a London-based film company. But at the same point of my life, I'm 56 now, I felt that I have to give something back to the territory. I grew up in an entrepreneurial context because my dad was Sargoma's founder, the company where I did all my experiences in which I currently manage. But I had other difficulties, but I did not start the family business. And from zero. So I felt that I needed to do more for other women, and I joined the association in APID. Because in Italy, gender equality has not yet been achieved, and we are far from it. There are many discriminations that affect women in the business world in other contexts. Precisely for this reason, it is important to reflect on equal opportunities with particular attention, allowing us to consider the gender dimension within all forms of discriminations. This is the approach that APID has been supporting for a long time. In addition, since 2016, the association has supported projects and initiatives with a social impact and has partnered with SAFE, the first Italian agency specialized in fundraising for education against gender-based violence. These are my activities at the moment.
Thank you, Brigitte. I mean, it's absolutely great that you feel that you want to give back, you want to help other women, having gone through yourself that experience of becoming an entrepreneur, being raised in an entrepreneurial families. So it's really great to hear that. I think that is what really, it's very, very important to pass on that expertise. Thank you.
I consider myself a lucky woman. So as a lucky woman, that is looking also for the for work and helping people. So that's why in these last years I really wanted to join women associations.
I think I would add you also as a generous woman, because you're clearly giving your time and energies to this. So thank you so much. Now, if I move on to by looking at the screen, Anne, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and also your fund? I know about your initiative, and I'm sure that our participant will be very interested to hear about it.
Thank you, Simonetta, and thank you so much for the opportunity. So welcome, everybody. I want to say hi to all those women entrepreneurs or wannapreneurs who are on this call, because I'm a woman entrepreneur like you, and I became a woman entrepreneur because I was in the audience, just like you are now. And one day I asked a question from the audience, and there was a woman entrepreneur speaking, and I asked her what her greatest challenge was, and she said it was access to finance. We're going to talk a lot about it here, and you're going to hear a lot on the WEgate barometer, because it's one of the key themes that came through. And I got curious, and I said, is it harder for women to raise money? And then I started to read research. And at the time in 2013, I discovered research from the World Bank IFC that said that the funding gap, the credit gap between male and female entrepreneurs was estimated worldwide to be around $300 billion. And that made my blood boil. So then I got angry and I said, okay, I want to help do something about that. Since then, unfortunately, the bad news is it's gotten a lot worse pre-COVID and coming up to COVID. So now that gap is estimated to be about $1.7 trillion before COVID. So one of my motivators, like all these incredible women on this panel, and I would just say to you all, connect with us all, link with us all on LinkedIn, go to WEgate, go to each of our organizations, because we're here to serve you. And that really is my mission in life. I have a 20-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son. And the hard truth is, if both of them went to create their business today and look for funding, my son would be 70% more likely to get funded just because of his gender. He doesn't even have to be good. So basically, I created Global Investor in 2013 to help demystify the whole funding process for women entrepreneurs, to say, okay, how do we do this stuff? Where do you get the information? How do we learn about it? And over the years, I've also become a very strong women's advocate. So I am part of the EU delegation to the W20, which is the main engagement group for gender at the G20. So giving in policy recommendations to the G20. And as you guessed it, what was I going on about? I was talking about entrepreneurship and access to finance. And so giving lots of recommendations. I was very honored to be part of the very first Women Empowerment Conference of the G20 in Italy this year, speaking about it. And it was so interesting because the whole day people were speaking about corporates, women on boards, general policy. And I get up and I said, hey, I want to talk about somebody we haven't spoken about, and that's women entrepreneurs, because I think and I truly believe that we are the greatest growth engine that can reignite the global economy. That means you. That's all of us, but it's women entrepreneurs. And we are the biggest untapped resource. And the thing is that governments and private companies and funders, they're kind of overlooking us, but to their peril. I think that we have a great opportunity. So through WEgate, you'll see Global Investor is part of WEgate. We're part of the council, and we're delighted to be so with Gabriela and the team of great women you've here. And so one of the things that we do, we have a lot of free podcasts. We have webinars on a weekly basis to demystify this funding, where we interview investors, interview funded women, so you can learn from them directly. And we've also, a bit like what Gabriela is talking about with the marketplace. So like all of you, look, we're all here to make a difference, right? If you are an entrepreneur or you want to become an entrepreneur, you do it because you see a problem that you care about and you want to help solve it, okay, for a specific community of people. And during COVID last year, I said, how can we help women entrepreneurs during this time? So we created the Invest Her Directory, and I've put the link in there below. So the Invest Her Directory is the first global directory of companies that are founded or co-founded by women. And the objective is to help you get seen by both customers and by investors, by funders. And it is free to apply. You can apply and be seen. We want to help get you seen, because I said the best form actually of funding, guess what? It's a paying customer. So if you can get more people to buy your product or service, that's the best form of funding, because you keep more of equity for yourself. I'm not saying don't go for funding. My job is to help you to find that funding. So it's a very important thing. So I would encourage you to check out Invest Her Directory. Behind me, you see also the link to Global Invest Her, our main website. So check us out. Really, it's about how can we help each other? And you'll find actually on the directory, you can do your research to see who are the other sisters in there, other women from 50 countries and 75 sectors that you could potentially partner with. So you can do your partner research, you can do some competitor research, you can see which of the women entrepreneurs are competing with me in this space. I need to know them. And of course, you can learn, you can also say if you're looking for funding, stay tuned, because very soon we are launching the Funder Directory. So that's the founder directory of all the great women. The Funder Directory is the first global directory of female founder-friendly sources of funding. So I only want to play with the people who get it. So the people, the sources of funding we're putting into our Funder Directory are only the ones who actually invest in women entrepreneurs or who publicly state they are going to start doing it, and we hold them accountable. So stay tuned, you learn more. I want to hand it back to Simonetta, because we have so many amazing ladies here that also need to share for Lynne and Patricia. So over to you.
Fantastic news, Anne, about the Founders Directory. I think much more needed, because there are some women out there in the investment community who do want, like yourself, like Lynne, who do want to support other women. And I think there is also some suggestion. I was looking at a report produced recently about the Investing in Women's Code, which is a UK initiative, where there are some suggestions there that women are more likely to, women investors, that is, are more likely to invest in women. So
3 times more likely, yes.
Yeah. So absolutely, we need more women investors. We need to know who they are and make them move. So fantastic. Yes, we will stay tuned. Still on the subject, Lynne, you also have experience in this area.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Hugely conscious of time, so try to keep this short. Just in terms of a little bit of a background, I started off my career in science as a fungal molecular geneticist, which is just a fancy way for saying that I studied mushrooms. I then moved into the investment field, managing a couple of early stage venture capital technology funds. And I confess, sometimes I struggled. I could not get people to understand what I was trying to say in this field. And then somebody turned round to me one day and said, have you ever thought it's because you're a woman in business? And this thought had never crossed my mind before. And I started to look into it. And that's how I started to get involved in the field that I work in now, which is championing women's rights in business. So I am chair of Mint Ventures, which is a women-led business angel group. And we focus very heavily on ensuring gender diversity in the founding team and the management, also on ESG in terms of reporting. I'm a member, we're signed up to the Investment in Women Code, and I'm a member of the UK's Business Angels Women Task Force. Principally, though, I'm chair of Women's Enterprise Scotland, which is a research-led policy group started up 10 years ago. We have a clear social purpose, and what we are all about is creating a better environment for women-led businesses to start up and grow. We have about 200 years gender-specific experience across our team, bringing in banking experience, investment experience, policy, research. And we are the co-creators with the Scottish Government of a framework, the Women in Enterprise Framework and Action Plan. And we focus all our work in 5 key areas: No surprises, everybody. Access to finance, mentoring, networks, role models, data and research, and gender-specific support. And an easy way to think about us is we represent the voice of the woman entrepreneur. Or another way, we're like a union for women entrepreneurs. We champion their rights and fight for change at the most senior level. Where we as a policy group have had our most significant success over the years is by very, very firmly focusing on the economic impact of women in business. And I'm always inspired by the words of Christine Lagarde when she was at the International Monetary Fund, whereby she said that, you know, making changes and supporting women in business is just not morally the right thing to do, but it's an economic game changer for everybody. So let's all keep that in our minds. We have had our successes recently by encouraging the Scottish Government to commit 50 million to a women's business centre model of support. Now, I should say that didn't happen overnight. It took 5 years to get there, but we do believe that this will be utterly transformational for the women in Scotland. And I'd be really keen to share our advice, learning, support with any people, anywhere, any country, to help them get something like that over the line. So thanks very much.
Sorry, I didn't unmute myself. Again, another fantastic initiative, and also is great. These initiatives are for everybody, just as you said, wherever they are. And I like your idea of the union for women entrepreneurs. It's a really good idea and something that is very, very helpful. And Patricia, you also have done some amazing work. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Simonetta. I just want to thank you also for this fabulous opportunity to connect with women entrepreneurs and also with each other here. Great to have a Thrive Festival. I love the word Thrive. I think that is what we all aspire to do. And also, Gabriela, thank you for bringing the WEgate Council here to this event. I think it is a way to connect further and to expand, let's say, our message and everything that we want to do. So my background is, my career started in a Fortune 500 fast-moving consumer goods organization, HR, org design, international mobility. 13 years in that company, and the main interest really I developed there is the role of people in any organization and how people and the culture that you have in an organization can make or break a business. Yeah. We cannot do anything alone, right? So thriving by ourselves is not really thriving. Thriving is always a collective approach, a group of people that work towards a common goal. Now, my interest for women entrepreneurs became, let's say, after I kind of stepped out of that multinational career. And it's been very much a process of elimination. So the work that I want to do, what don't I like? And I kept kind of peeling the onion off until at some point I also peeled a layer off and saying, really, I want to work with women. I want to work for women. My passion is to bring women to the forefront, and especially women entrepreneurs. So over the years, I have kind of aligned all my professional activities with a very strong personal belief. And my belief is that women who build up a thriving business, there comes the word again, because I think it's a powerful word, provide employment to others to support. They not only support themselves and their own family financially, they support employees and families and therefore their wider communities. Through their organization and that influence, they increase their scope of influence in their community, which then grows and grows over time. And this helps us also to make those same communities more prosperous and more stable and more sustainable over time. For me, women entrepreneurs have a fundamental role to play far beyond building their business and having a successful business. My projects that I work with is, first of all, my own business, which is Business Basecamp. We support women business leaders in the Mediterranean and beyond to implement really a culture of focus and accountability into their organizations, building that culture, understanding what are the main points to focus on, and therefore building a sustainable business over time. Two other initiatives that I'm currently working on, also through with the support of Business Basecamp, we kind of look for projects that we can support and bring up to speed. So recently we have started a collaboration with an organization, and we have created Generative Minds, which is going to be a mastermind program for established women entrepreneurs who wish to scale up their heart-based business further. We tap very much into the feeling of loneliness that women entrepreneurs can face, the fact that they have to be everything to everyone. We're trying to unravel a little bit the myth of the hero entrepreneur that knows all, does all, etc., and bring together through education, through the mastermind program itself, but also by creating the community that leverage the support of other like-minded women entrepreneurs. And then another thing that you will be seeing shortly from me is the EOS Academy, EOS Academy. This is a place for women who wish to start a social business and to learn and share experience. So again, it's community building for a very specific niche of women. And we're very much looking forward to support women who want to start their really a social business. This also will be a social business. So we also generate our own business at a social platform. And then obviously I do my work in PWN. PWN is a non-profit organization focused on accelerating gender balance leadership. I have been I've been in the board of PWN in various capacities. This is a volunteering in a volunteering capacity. Nonetheless, it's a lot of work. And I've been for the last 5 years in different board roles. Recently, I moved into the global programs. So PWN also foresees to create a type of PWN Academy, creating all kinds of learning and communities for different from different aspects for professional women and entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. And I think, hearing all of you speaking, I think it's, the WEgate community is really great because it's bringing together all these initiatives. There is so much going on, and that, one of the challenges also is to find out what's happening, where it's happening. And I think the WEgate is playing this role of bringing all this together. I see we got a few questions in the chat. Before I go to the question, can I ask you very briefly to comment on the WEgate barometers, which is a survey for the benefit of our participants. It's a survey that has been now in its second year, Gabriela, isn't it?
Yes.
Of women entrepreneurs across Europe to find out, what are their challenges, what they benefit. So can I ask each of you to make a brief comment on something that in the findings that struck you particularly? If I can start with you, Gabriela.
Yeah, thank you. It is an annually commissioned survey, so I had the privilege to be part of it last year and this year as well. And what we found out is that although we are doing so many different things across different regions and countries, we're still not doing enough because more or less the challenges remain the same. We talk about access to finance, different conditions there, different layers, not only availability of sources of funding, but also what it comes to alternative sources of funding, not using them sufficiently. We have a problem with the offer, we have a problem with the challenge, that is more common to say challenge with the skills that we need to design. So access to finance definitely remains #1 challenge this year as well. And I'm very, very happy to hear what Anne just shared. And we would be very much looking forward to share all the information that is going to happen in the Global Investor and all other organizations that deal with access to finance. Then we have problems with networking, with mentorship, with business support services. But what I would like just to add one small thing is that the WEgate barometer is an annual survey, and it gathers, opinion of women from, this year it was 25 countries across Europe. But we also use all the different events to talk to women entrepreneurs. And to talk to all the WEgate Community Council members and share information. So we also gather insights through different channels. And what I have realized during the COVID-19, that one of the benefits, if there are positive sides of COVID, is that women entrepreneurs turned to their networks more than before. So business support networks, that also WeBarometer also emphasized that we are still #1 when it comes to where women entrepreneurs will go for support. Business support networks, and on the second place are the state governments and all the other stakeholders, which is great for us as a support ecosystem, but it's a very, very big responsibility, and we must perform better in order to support our women entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Gabriela. And Lynne, what are your thoughts about the WeBarometer? What struck you from the latest findings?
I think the main thing that struck me from the barometer is, unfortunately, nothing has improved. And in fact, things have gone back the way, which is a really sad indictment on our society. And that is why events like this are so important for us to all have this deeper understanding. And I'm also thinking about Barack Obama is in Glasgow at the moment at the COP, the COP climate change event. And his message to young people about climate change is stay angry. Our message for gender equality, stay angry. We need to work together to sort this. There's serious and systemic signs of market failure, and our politicians and our policymakers really need to hear us and take action to make change.
Yeah, we need to keep the pressure on, yes. And Patricia, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so a bit similar, because I mean, nothing is really changing, and that's not it's not only since the last 2 years, it's since a lot more years, right? We hear this at every event that we go to, that we're frustrated about the fact that we're not changing. But I did some more thinking about especially also the role of finance, because I think it starts there. And the interesting thing I was reading in the report, when you dig a little bit into that, is that there's the access to finance and the fact that the women are unwilling to take the risk. And I thought, why is that, right? And then somewhere else in the report, you can see that it's usually they tap into family savings or maybe friends and families providing money. So I'm thinking, okay, that grossly increases your unwillingness to take a risk, because now all of a sudden you're either risking your family savings, maybe your old age, something that you're trying to build up, or you're risking the reputation with your friends and families. And so now something that should be a business transaction, right? I have a plan, I'm asking you for backing there, having to pay that back, which is very much a business transaction. This whole financial part becomes something that is highly emotional. And I think, if we look then at what David Carroll is in his foreword there, that it's so crucial to economic development. We already know how important it is that we play an equal role as women in the whole economic society. And I'm thinking, why are we not, I don't understand, why are we making women fight an uphill battle here? How is it that we are not able to create some, let's say, measurements? I like planning and measurements and kind of statistics. How is it that we cannot set a goal and understand how do we reach that goal and start moving towards that? And for me, this is something that puzzles me, and that is something that's going to keep me up for a while longer after this talk today.
Thank you, Patricia. Some interesting thoughts there about borrowing from your family and friends, and Anne, you are part of the solution, because you just shared with us some of the initiatives. Any other thoughts that you want to contribute to this discussion?
Well, I mean, to build on the barometer, what both Lynne and Patricia and Gabriela, but Lynne and Patricia in particular, were saying about the sources of funding. I think what we're seeing and what the barometer was saying was very interesting, is like, what are the top 3 sources of funding that you're looking for? And so in the report, it's saying, I'm looking at it here, it's like the business loan, government grants, own savings. And another finding that was very interesting was like, do you set up the business by yourself or with a co-founder? And what the report was showing is that the vast majority, over 52%, were, you know, solo founders. And so that is a big difference with the guys. The guys come together, right? So they usually be because they want to spread out the work. They want to do less work. It's true. It is true. So look, the guys band together, and very much what you were saying, Patricia, like it's transactional. Looking for money is transactional. And so they don't dig in. They're like, why the hell would I use my own savings when I can go and ask a business angel, tap on the shoulder at the golf or rugby corner or anywhere else at a business networking event? They have no problem asking. So I think one of the things that I see a lot with women entrepreneurs is that we tend to, when we do ask for money, we don't ask for enough. So I'm seeing that, like, it doesn't matter where I've been on a judge at pitch competitions around the world, virtual in place, and I see this magic number everybody gravitates toward, which is 500,000. So if you're raising your seed first round of funding, early stage funding, I see this 500,000. I'm like, why 500K? Oh, because I've done my sum. I'm like, it's impossible that every woman entrepreneur, no matter what sector or country, comes up with the same figure. I'm sorry, it's impossible. Like, what does that mean? So what I would encourage the women entrepreneurs at, of course, joining WEgate and joining all of us and finding out about all these resources, is to make sure that you ask for more money. So instead of thinking, oh, I'm just going to ask for 500K, there's so many women who are uncomfortable asking for more. I'm like, why? Like, so this is a question of saying, instead of limiting yourself to this magic number, forget the number. And I would like you to think about, you need to raise for about 18 to 24 months runway. So to cover your expenses for 18 to 24 months. If that's over $1 million, so be it. And if you feel uncomfortable asking for that million straight off, you say it'll be in 2 tranches. The first, it'll be 750K, and the rest it'll be in a next tranche. So these are some strategies that I would encourage women entrepreneurs to be thinking about. So my key message is, you need to, it's great to read the barometer because it takes a pulse of European based women entrepreneurs. I would suggest, number one, next time that you see this, the link to the survey coming up, answer it, because we need more answers. And have your voice. This is part of what Lynne is saying as well about the union, and what Patricia, we're all singing from the same sheet, saying you got to have your voice, you got to sit, you got to use your voice. And we've got to create the change and demand the change. So when you see the next barometer questionnaire to come up, fill it in. Number one, have your say, get heard. Number two, when you're looking at access to funding, discover there are so many other sources available apart from that first inner circle. Think bigger. And number three, ask for more money.
Thank you, Anne. And I think you touched a really important question there about asking for more money. I think no matter where, women always ask for less, whether it's for a job offer. They're not as good at negotiating like the men. I put myself into the equation when I asked for funding to research councils. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't ask perhaps as much as I should possibly ask. And we've seen that it seems to be a pattern. There is something here about women and money that will be perhaps for another conversation to explore more in depth. We got a few questions here in the chat. So let me have a look at the questions and then see. So one question is the WEgate community requiring the financial help from the EU? Is it a problem with Brexit? I suppose probably this is more a problem for us in the UK than for the WEgate. Gabriela, I don't.
No, it's not a problem with the Brexit. WEgate is the European gateway, so it covers whole Europe, not just European Union, so extended Europe. And in that sense, is open for everyone. But only European countries at the moment. Once we redesign the website, maybe on the new portal from other countries, women entrepreneurs can join. At the moment, 43 countries from extended Europe can join WEgate Council, WEgate community. So no problem with Brexit. That's not related with WEgate.
Reassuring to hear that, yes.
Yeah.
And is there an age limit for joining WEgate community?
No, not at all. No limits, no discrimination, nothing. It's just the willingness to be together, to support each other, and to ask for more, as Anne said.
Someone asked, is there a virtual portal? I think we have put it in the chat, so is there for people to access it. Do you support social innovation projects?
I think that they are also members of the community that are working with social innovation projects. WEgate is open to everyone. So if they want more information, if they want to get in touch, or some of the participants want to get in touch with these stakeholders that support social innovation projects, we have programs like that. I invite them to contact us via Ask Anna. We have a virtual assistant on the WEgate portal. It's called Ask Anna, and we will make sure to connect you with whomever you need for your social innovation project.
And then another question, how long can WEgate support a business?
Well, the idea is that at the moment we have a contract for the WEgate until 2023, but the idea is that while we are also making the marketplace and everything, the idea is that the WEgate after this round will be sustainable and it will remain to be operated by the partners, hopefully for as much as possible. We will see.
And then I think there is question that we can, it's about someone who is interested in getting in touch with PWN, and maybe we can put a link or something in the chat about that. And then the final question is which is for everybody. So you might all want to be nice and to the discussion. What do you all believe are the first steps to bridging the gap and creating more gender balance in entrepreneurship? Patricia.
Sorry, repeat the question, please, because I was typing in the PWN global.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes. So the final question. So we've got another one. The final one was, what do you all believe are the first steps to bridging the gap and creating more gender balance in entrepreneurship? And then there is another one. So I'll read them all both, and then you can answer which one. The last one we got. Interesting to see that WIP Barometer respondents believed Women Business Network offered more effective support than state agencies. What policy actions would you like to see at the state level to support women?
Right. Okay, you still want me to start, Simonetta?
Yeah, thanks.
So I'll answer the question about bridging the gap. I think, we are still very much having to raise awareness and having to raise actually actionable actions. And we have to realize, because I see here today that we're mostly women, we have to realize that this is a conversation that we cannot just have among women. We have to start involving men. And we do start involving men, but there is another additional training. We have to also educate men, not only in supporting in theory, but actually creating actions. And so what is it that they can actually do? What can they execute to support the whole discussion and to support the gender equality? Because just saying that you support it is one thing, but actually getting down to business and getting something done, that's a different aspect of it all.
Thank you. Lynne, any thoughts on either question?
Very strongly agree with two of the points made there. The key is getting more men involved in this. Regrettably, we don't want any more research. We don't want any more policy documents that are going to be created and stuck in drawers. What we want is action. That is absolutely key. And then the third point I would make is really the entire community, policymakers, politicians, bankers, investors, they need to be trained in gender-specific support, and they need to deeply understand the fundamental differences in the ways that women start up and grow their businesses. And this is all about sustainability, approach to risk, confidence, all these kind of things. They have to understand that women do it differently. And we shouldn't just be expecting that women need to adapt to the system that is there, which quite frankly is a stale ecosystem of support, which reflects right now one way of doing business, which is typically a male way of doing business. The system needs to adapt to women.
Very true indeed. And Anne.
I love it. I love it so much what you've just said, Lynn. I totally agree with that. And I think we need to change the system. I think the time for change is now. And I think we shouldn't put up with it anymore.
It's
so
14:25.
Sorry, my Siri talking to me for a reason. I think we shouldn't put up with it anymore. It's a question of saying, okay, we need to speak up and we need to come together, very much in the line of what you've been saying. I do think we need to have public-private partnerships, because governments alone can't fix this. Companies alone can't fix it, big corporates, and also women entrepreneurs alone can't fix it. We all need to work together. And so we need to create a table where we're all consistently at that table together, but working together, and men and women. So I agree with the gender intelligence training, the gender awareness training. It's very important. And I have hope. I have hope because of the young people. Because the young people are now coming of age to vote. The young people are thinking much wider and much more in a societal way. And I think they will not put up with, we're seeing it, or they will not put up with the current stale system, very much to your point, Lynn. What we're seeing is that, when they are the younger generation, when they go to work for corporates, they're demanding paid, paternity leave as well. They're saying, like, why can't my husband or my partner, if it's a male partner, take that time off to help me with the child that we either have of our own or adopt? Society has to change. And I think one thing that the pandemic has shown is that we can change when we're forced to. And it's the same thing with the COP26, we can change when we're forced to. So I do think it's about us keeping the fire under the belly, we need to keep top of mind to our politicians, to the corporates, and to women entrepreneurs, that we have to work together. We can't solve this and recreate the new system by ourselves. So I think what's great about WEgate is that we're all working together, and we need to build more links with the guys. It's the same thing. We do need to build more links with the guys.
Yeah, and I take it from lots of the things you have said. It's, as someone who has been researching into gender equality for now well over 20 years, when you start looking at things from a gender lens, you end up improving things for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is not just about women, it's making better for everybody. Yes. Gabriela, I'll give you as coordinator of this wonderful community, I'll give you the last word.
Well, thank you very much. It's very difficult to add something. I agree with everything that has been said. Working together, the time is now. No more research. Research is good if we need to do something about it, but we also need a lot of actions, and we need speed and we need scale. That is something that we are lacking in everything that we are doing at the moment. And working together, and very, very much what I have been a little bit angry lately with some initiatives that I came across is, let's practice what we preach. If we talk about, gender equality, let's start from our own organizations. Let's have a gender equality plan. Let's have, gender equal panels when we make sessions, panels, whatever we organize, and let's just make ourselves a little bit more visible. And what I also very much liked, what was I think that Anne said, when you get the WEgate, not only WEgate barometer, any type of survey, any type of possibility for your voice to be heard as a women entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what gender you are, make sure that your voice is heard. We are waiting for someone else to solve our problems, but that will not happen. We have to push it a little bit, and on the other end, we have to work with other stakeholders, because otherwise we're not going to be able to do it. So the key is to support each other in the corporate world, to support each other in the ecosystem, and of course to work with everybody in the ecosystem. Everything is a business transaction. At the end of the day, negotiating the position, negotiating how to improve the ecosystem, We are good at it. Networking is one of the things that we are good at it. And we just need to follow our intuition, and we need to use what we are better. We don't, as said, we don't need to fix ourselves. We need to fix the system and use the advantages that we have. But of course, that does not mean that we should stop working on ourselves. Personal development, skills development, that is all something that we need to work regardless of the gender or what we are doing in life. So I would say support, working hard and working together. That would be the key message from my side.
Thank you very much, Gabriela. I'll just conclude the session by just using one of our participants said, this has been brilliant. Indeed, it has been brilliant. Thank you so much for joining this panel, for your time. And also thank you to our audience for joining us and their comments and questions. And last but not least, thank you so much to our wonderful Oxford Brookes team behind the scenes, making the technology working and everything. So thank you again. It has been recorded, so when it's ready, we will then disseminate if people have missed it. And I can see on the chat there are lots of links if you want to link up and continue the conversation. And no doubt we will have other opportunities to follow up on some of these really interesting thoughts that we've discussed today. Thank you so much to everybody. Goodbye and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Take care.